And air travelers are getting ready for a tough time getting to their weekend destinations. The FAA is cutting flights starting today because of the government shutdown and air traffic controller shortages as a result. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy spoke about the unprecedented action earlier on CBS Mornings.
I think we all know how we got into this problem. I think we all know what the solution is. But I want to talk about the decision that happened quite suddenly on Wednesday to reduce flights in the air starting today. You say it was based on the data. People are real curious about that data. Can you share the numbers? What set off the alarm bells?
Yeah, so first, I have a lot of jobs at DOT. My number one job is safety. And so we had seen the rolling staffing triggers that come from air traffic controllers. One day it was in LA, another day it was in New York, Minneapolis, Atlanta. And so as we were looking at the data, we were seeing increased numbers in some of the categories we don't like. And it's because we have controllers, the same controllers usually show up for work, and the same controllers that don't show up. And so we saw controllers working 6 days a week, 10-hour days. That pressure on the controllers were giving us numbers that were not troubling, but were concerning. And so my job is to be preemptive, to take preemptive action based on the data, which is what we've done. We'll share the data later with the airlines, with the Congress. But right now, it's about making the right decisions at the right time to keep people safe.
Mr. Secretary, I just want to follow up on that. I cannot imagine being an air traffic controller right now. They got to make hard choices about paying their own bills. We've been reading articles about them taking jobs with Uber and DoorDash, stocking groceries, you name it. It's a tough place to be in right now. But you said data later. A lot of people want data now to think about this. Rick Larsen, who's the top Democrat on the Transportation Committee, says more transparency is needed. Can you share just a little bit more of what you got underneath the hood?
Listen, I talked to Rick. He's a friend of mine, and I know he was going to ask for the data. And if I have people who want to second guess what we're doing, why we're doing it, I've done all I can to minimize disruption in the airspace. I'm trying to get people where they want to go and get them there safely. If people want to question us, I would throw it back at them, open up the government. You know, that we have to take unprecedented action is because we are in an unprecedented situation with a shutdown. And so, by the way, if I don't take this action, Rick might be the first one to come at me and say, why didn't you look at the data and why didn't you take action to keep people safe? He wants to go at me one way or the other, no matter what I do. And so, again, I have a number one job of keeping people safe. I've looked at data. I want to be preemptive, and I want to make sure people are safe in the system. And by the way, this was not a political decision. We did this with the safety team at the FAA. We did it with the administrator of the FAA. As that data came in, we decided to make the decisions that we thought were appropriate.
Yeah, listen, I would think nobody would want to mess with safety at this time, Secretary Duffy.
No.
I'm flying to the West Coast today. I'm booked on 3 different flights. I'm a nervous wreck about it. My big concern is safety. I'm curious about the specific safety concerns that you have. What are you most worried about here?
Well, again, it comes back to controller fatigue. And if I can reduce the capacity because I have reduced controllers, I think that takes pressure out of the system, right? Again, if you have the same volume of flights, that's still a lot of pressure to get those flights, even though they're delayed up in the air or on the ground. That's more pressure on controllers, and I have less of them than I did a month ago. And as you mentioned in the package, Nick from the Air Traffic Controllers Union mentioned, we're 2,000 controllers short already. So we're already understaffed. We need to bring more controllers in, and then you take controllers out of towers because they're driving Uber or they're waiting tables. It creates a unique set of problems. And a controller can work 6 days a week, 10 hours a day for maybe a couple wemes. But if you start doing that for a month, that creates a different set of problems that I have to look at. And again, I'm less concerned about what the lead in the Senate or the House might say to me in the Democrat Party. I'm more concerned about what the family is going to say to me in an airport to say, I want to make sure that I'd love to travel on time, but I want to make sure I get there to my destination safely.
That's my biggest fear. We're all members of somebody's family. How close do you think we are, Mr. Duffy, to ending the shutdown? Are you guys even talking behind the scenes? What's your take on how long this is going to take?
So, Gail, listen, there's conversations that are happening, and that's a good thing. Here's my concern. As you're traveling this weekend, know that the Senate's going home, right? They're going to be home with their families. I think they should be here all weekend, every week, working on deals to open up the government. And I'll just tell you, Republicans have voted 14 times to open up the government. Democrats have to figure out, what do they want? Leverage is not an answer. What do you want? Have a conversation. I think the way we should do this, Gail, is say, I want to make sure I get a debate and a vote on something that's a priority for me. You can't guarantee an answer because of a shutdown, but you can guarantee a vote and a debate. I think that's the right solution. Let the process work. And then let's get about the business of serving the American people.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.